Bitcoin test $15,000. Are you on that hype train to $15,000, $16,000, $20,000? Or have these overbought territories scarred you mentally? And are you prepared for a dip? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe on the way in. This is a beautiful day, everybody. Bitcoin's testing $15,000. I've done videos on this YouTube channel, Bitcoin just hanging out around $3,000. So this is nice, right? And we enjoy these moves to the upside. And I want to talk about moves to the upside. I want to talk about, is there room to the upside? I want to show that on the charts. But I really want to kind of gauge the downside. And I think I had somebody actually told me they unsubscribed yesterday because I'm so negative. I couldn't be more bullish, especially at this part of Bitcoin cycle. We're talking about post-halving, right? 2020 halving here in the white line. I couldn't be more bullish for Bitcoin, but I have to discuss the short-term throwbacks that are likely to occur when we start approaching those areas. So let's jump into the video. Real quick, I want to play a clip from this video from November 2nd. But what we look for is support at this revisit of the trend line for conservative bullish confirmation. We're yet to see if that's going to happen, but it's what we can watch today in the coming hours. So breakout target to the upside very much in play, $14,600. And then to the downside, if this apex fails, right? So $13,500 or so when I did that video. That's crazy. 3 days ago, and now we're at $14,900. Bitcoin has increased $1,400 in a few days, and it did see support. Let's zoom in here on the 6-hour chart and let's see what's going on here, because we've been tracking this thing. We've been tracking these symmetrical triangles, and they've just been playing out so well. It's been too good to me on this YouTube channel. Bitcoin has. So here we go. Here's the trend line we were talking about in that video, looking for support. Bitcoin did. It bounced off that area, bounced off the apex, and we got the bounce. And yes, everyone, we hit our target to the upside. Hitting a target to the upside, a target to the upside is basically saying that there is, for sure, confidently, this much room for Bitcoin to go, meaning $14,000, $1,600 is a comfortable target. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin's going to stop there. Oftentimes it does. Oftentimes targets have huge resistance. And even in yesterday's video, I talked about resistance potentially at this area as Bitcoin starts getting overbought on the zoomed out charts. But right now, Bitcoin is currently, if we look at the price range from that $14,600 area, we're 2% above that area. So the question is, can Bitcoin keep going? The simple short answer, anytime you ask that, is yes. But from a technical analysis perspective, it is also yes, because we have just this move of Bitcoin breaking out of these symmetrical triangles to the upside. We had a symmetrical triangle to the upside with an upside target of around $13,000 or so, and this was back in September. You may have remember we tracked this just so nicely. Bitcoin bouncing between Fibonacci retracements, breakout. We hit a target, right? And at that target, what you see happen is consolidation. Bitcoin had room to the upside, which obviously from that area, we are now almost $15,000. There was room to the upside, but Bitcoin needed to consolidate first, right? And this is a 6-hour chart, and you can see what that looks like on this RSI, right? We were overbought territory as Bitcoin hit that target out of the symmetrical triangle finally, and we've consolidated. Now look how far Bitcoin has come down in terms of momentum. Bitcoin currently still has room to the upside in terms of the 6-hour chart, historically what Bitcoin has done, but there's a really strong case to say at this point, Bitcoin's likely to consolidate. That doesn't mean a huge fallback or throwback for Bitcoin, but it's likely to, at the very least, fall into some even short-term pattern. It could be, and we always do this, we always speculatively do this, it could be kind of a falling channel. It could be a symmetrical triangle, another symmetrical triangle. We could dip, into the 13,000s again with a swing low. There's so many different scenarios, but we definitely want to start looking for some type of consolidation pattern at this stage. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not hype on Bitcoin, I'm not bullish on Bitcoin, And in fact, I could upload this video. It's around 10 a.m. right now in Eastern time. I could upload this and Bitcoin could just break through $15,000, right? We don't have any short-term targets right now for upside. Bitcoin could keep going, and sometimes Bitcoin doesn't have any targets. Most often, Bitcoin doesn't need any targets when it's in its bullish environment. If we go to the daily chart, again, there is room to the upside on the RSI if you look at the daily, but we are truly in that overbought territory. We've got an overextension now from the 70 line on the RSI, more of a traditional overbought area for just traditional markets, but for Bitcoin, not so much. We actually got a bounce on that area. This is actually when Bitcoin was bouncing off of the symmetrical triangle that we've been tracking right here. And you can see, let me just open this up. Bitcoin bounced off that overbought line, 70 line, and we've continued up. Even so, if you zoom out here on the charts, if you just see this RSI, the momentum oscillator, Bitcoin historically, and I'm just throwing data at you. This isn't negativity or bearishness. I really shouldn't even have to be explaining myself right now. But everyone, this is data. That's all. We are in this overbought territory. The average of this territory, just extending back, I put a rectangle around it. Anytime Bitcoin has been here, even in the last bull market, and that's what's going on over here. This is Bitcoin just in the last bull market going up to $20,000. Bitcoin consolidated in some manner, whether that's a huge dip or just kind of a smaller dip, maybe sideways trading, Bitcoin consolidated. And you can just see what that looks like on the daily chart. I don't even have to break every single move down for you, but this is what happened. Now, it kind of started, now that we're zooming out on the charts a little bit, I want to start discussing something with you because everyone, we are at an extremely, extremely exciting time for Bitcoin. We are post 2020 halving. If you don't see the bullishness in my face, then I can't help you. But I want to take a quick clip, take a look at this clip from July 10th, 2019. Bitcoin was making some moves. So right here on the chart, Bitcoin saw resistance at that Fibonacci area, right? Boom, right there. So it cooled down, if we go back, cooled down after hitting that overbought resistance. And it's kind of the same thing we're anticipating right now, a cool down period, right? So it doesn't have to happen, but we've been talking about it because it can happen, right? And what would that look like, I guess is a question. So we know back here, this looked like a 40% drop for Bitcoin. I'm not sitting here saying that's going to definitely happen, but a 40% drop, so you have reference because it's possible, would be. All right, not going to show all that, but Bitcoin was trading almost around $13,000 last summer, and I was talking about a 40% drop. Everybody's just so bullish, and let's just look at the Bitcoin charts on the weekly chart. This would be right around here. Everyone just so bullish on Bitcoin because we've just made so many moves out of the bear market, right? And I'm sitting here talking about a 40% drop. And everyone, what happened? Bitcoin dropped. Bitcoin just continued down. We definitely didn't anticipate this. That was the pandemic hitting, but Bitcoin was consolidating. Bitcoin saw huge resistance here at that Fibonacci resistance. And that's what I was talking about on the channel. And confluent with what I was talking about in that video with that Fibonacci resistance was Bitcoin was approaching just a key overbought territory on the weekly chart. Now, I mentioned we're at a really exciting time right now, and that's because we're testing this Fibonacci resistance once again. If you've been watching my YouTube channels, you know all about this. This is the bull market doors. This was the bull market high to the bear market low, and this is the bull market doors. We tested them last summer. Bitcoin failed. We talked about as Bitcoin approached this area once again this past couple weeks, what will Bitcoin do? And so far, it has not failed anywhere near the way it failed last summer, and we are in it right now, everyone. And what I want to just talk about is the potential for Bitcoin to, yes, just see just a dip, right? Now, I can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen, but I have to throw this out there. And this does not get me subscribers, everyone, but I really don't care because this is my approach to the markets. And I'm telling you, this data is pure gold in the Bitcoin markets. You will get the inverse of that. You will get failure if all you do is watch hype YouTube channels. There's a lot of hype on this channel, don't get me wrong. Hit that subscribe for that hype. You'll get it. But right now, I have to just be cautious, throw caution to you, because this is what Bitcoin does historically. If you want to trade Bitcoin, if you want to make money with Bitcoin, if you want to succeed with Bitcoin, then you have to know Bitcoin. You have to know how it works, what it does. So good news is this: Bitcoin isn't just at this area of definitely just way overbought on the weekly chart, right? We've been talking about this area up here. There's a lot of room for momentum. Bitcoin can very well, there is a lot of room breaking $16,000 and beyond before we get to this big dip scenario. And if we look at the charts here, this is Bitcoin, and this is so interesting to me. This is the last election, 2016, post 2016 halving, and this is what Bitcoin looks like really just after post-election, before getting this big dip. Now, I'm not saying elections have like a crazy amount to do with what's going on with Bitcoin, but it's interesting to see the exact synergy and harmonious moves in the Bitcoin charts. Now, Bitcoin continued up after the elections and then got that huge dip. Now, this is the bull market doors of 2016, 2017. Bitcoin broke those doors, fell all the way back down. And this is where we are now. So post-election, that was obviously this week, Bitcoin making moves. We're breaking these bull market doors. And I mentioned on the weekly chart, there's room for the upside. Bitcoin could very well be up here, $17,000 very quickly. Be prepared for that. However, we're approaching that overbought territory here on the weekly chart. We just talked about. At that point, we'll really be cruising up in this area. And then we might get a similar move like you see back here in 2016, after Bitcoin tested the bull market doors for the first time, making its way back down to the 618 of that Fibonacci retracement. So a move like this, boom, right back down to the $13,000 area, the 618 of this Fibonacci retracement, the bull market doors before continuation up. Everyone, please have patience in these markets. We are here, and Bitcoin's making moves, and it's going to continue making moves. I can't stress enough how bullish I am for Bitcoin. Even on the short term, everyone, I know I'm talking about downside, but there is absolutely room for upside. I'm sorry if you're here right now and you're debating buying Bitcoin and you're like, should I buy Bitcoin? Is now a time? Because now is not a time I buy Bitcoin. I buy Bitcoin on those 30% drops, 40% drops. You don't start thinking about buying Bitcoin when it's starting to approach overbought territories. I mean, you can, but it's not what I suggest. Now, if people buy Bitcoin now, do I think long term it's going to be a bad idea? Absolutely not, because $100,000 is incoming. That's my opinion. That's not financial advice. So everyone, let me know your thoughts below. These are just my thoughts. This is just the Bitcoin data. It's exciting, everyone. Let's see if Bitcoin can break $15,000 today. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.